All right, well, let's get started. Start with the cannon pinion. This is the tiniest cannon pinion I've ever removed. Get some stuff out of the way here real fast. All right. Interesting, this cannon pinion removal tool is literally too big for this cannon pinion. So we're going to have to try it the old school way. Alright, that came off pretty easily. That'll do. Alright. Now we need to be very careful with that pin coming through the watch. Probably use the smaller side of this, because this movement is tiny. I'm a little bit worried about this top wheel. I don't know that I have a tool to remove this thing. Yeah, this thing is not designed for that wheel to be removed. It's okay, we'll start here. Looks like we still got some power in the mainspring too, which is not good because I don't really have a good way to let this down. All right, we are going to try to hold the power off here. You need to hold this screw. And to hold that in place. And release the click spring. Okay, I think that's all the power out. Nice. We'll start with the balance spring here. Way too big. I'm pretty sure all of my screws are going to be very small on this go round. Yep, this screw is 1 millimeter. Nicely though, these screws look to be, oh, just hit my light, the fat-headed screws, which is really, oh, really nice. Let's go ahead and lay all this out in order so that it's easier to find when we're ready for that. on. That feels magnetized. Please hold. I think that magnet is broken. Alright, we're gonna see if we can't use 2 tweezers here. Alright, that looks good. Looks like a screw of about the same size there. That one is definitely shorter. So here, that screw looks the same as the last one. And it has a small little one to go with it. That looks to be a bridge. Okay. Stop there for a moment. We'll go up bigger. Much bigger. I think parts of this thing must be magnetized. Okay, so there is a little something right here. I'm not sure what that thing goes to. Pretty sure this thing is just pressure fit in there. Yep, this piece must come off. This is a bridge for sure. But it doesn't really have a good leverage point for lifting. I'm gonna try this corner right here. This is one solid bridge here. Okay, let's take off that smaller bridge first. Alright, here comes the train wheel bridge. That looks to be the same length as the last screw that was on the other side of the bridge. And indeed it is. And this other one also looks to be the same size. Yep. So all three of those are the same size. Now the question is that bridge loose? Yes, it is. Okay, I think I can get this whole bridge off now. I'm trying to be very careful of how I lift because I don't want to grab something underneath that I'm not supposed to. Feels connected. Hang on, I'm gonna get rid of this other camera that's just in the way. Ah, okay. It is pinned down by the ratchet wheel. This guy, notoriously righty-loosey here. And that came off. I am going to see if I can demag something real fast. Yep, my screwdriver was magnetized. Okay, now we'll see if we can get this ratchet wheel out from underneath. Yep, that came out. And I don't see any shim with that. Normally you'd see a shim attached, but I'm not seeing it. But that should let this bridge now come out. Okay, yeah, there's a little post there, but no shim. Okay. So now let's try this again. There we go. And I need to figure out how to get this bridge apart now. I'm going to start with pulling out the center wheel, which is the second wheel here. Ah, no. Interesting. So I have to somehow separate those two. So this top wheel and the bottom wheel are connected through this middle pivot. It's kind of fuzzy. We'll pick this up and let you guys see it. There's an upper and a lower wheel here that look to be compression fit. But there was yeah, that definitely looks like it's supposed to come apart there. We're going to move that to the side for the moment. Continue the disassembly of the main plate. Can get the barrel bridge off now. Go ahead and take the click out real quick, actually. That's way too big of a screwdriver. Now I gotta make sure we don't have a spring go flying on us here. So I'm gonna see if I can't see how that spring. Ah, okay, yep, the spring is underneath. Okay, so I'm going to get my stabber stick. Actually, you know what? Let's get these wheels out of here before I accidentally hurt them at all. So there's that wheel. Let's see if I can get this. Yep, escape wheel came out nicely. Okay, now let's see if this click will come up. This click does appear to have a direction. It also has a pin on the bottom that will help. Yeah, that's going to help dictate the direction. All right, and now to remove the click spring without it flying away, let's make sure that we get in there nice and tight with our bar. Okay, click spring removed. And there is, I don't know if this movement has ever been disassembled. Go ahead and take out the this is the crown lug here, the crown screw. And it is a very small screw, so we're going to look for maybe our 80. And this thing, okay, that is through the bottom. Okay, good. Okay, so it looks like I have 3 barrel screws. And I think we were using the 120 for this. Yep. My movement just shifted a little bit, so I'll go ahead and tighten it down real fast. There we go. Okay. Now these screws are the only ones in the whole movement that look like they've been... Someone has attempted to take them out before. They are very beat up. Those are all the same size. And with that, the bridge should come loose. And indeed it does. Really greasy in there. Okay. And the barrel out. This will be the first time I'm ever taking apart a barrel, by the way, so that'll be fun. Don't know how I plan on getting the spring back inside, though, so that will be an interesting task. And I believe the last thing here is the balance fork now. And is that the same screw as all the other ones, or no? Nope, that's one of the short flat ones. But is it the same as this one, which came from... Nope, that one's smaller. Okay. Hey, you.
Hey.
This thing is so small.
It smells like Florida in here.
What does that mean?
I don't know if that means it smells like old people or dampness.
So, these chemicals are the chemicals that kind of stink. I'll bet if I were to screw this out, you probably... Do not put your face in there, but near it, and then
Why?
take a whiff.
I took middle school chemistry. That's not the smell I'm smelling.
But you can smell it.
Yeah.
It's pretty potent, huh?
Yeah. Alright, I'm going downstairs. Just saying I love you.
Okay.
Have fun.
Love you. Love you.
I love you. I said it first.
Oh, sorry. I had my headphones in.
You said it back.
All right. Flip this thing over. Move on to the keyless works. Oh. There goes our crown screw. Put that over here. Which also means we should have our crown lever coming out. Yep. It's loose. There's our crown lever. With that, the crown should come out. And it did. And we should be able to get our ratchet wheel and clutch out. Oh no. Okay, they just fell through the bottom. But they did pop out. I did not like that. So there's my ratchet. Those look good. Okay, 2 screws on top of this bridge. And we got a yoke spring under there. And the hour wheel. So, start with these 2 screws. Okay. And now the jumper spring. Interesting, this one only has 1 intermediate wheel. And with that, I'm almost completely disassembled. No shims on anything. Yep, that all looks good. So that's the main bridge. That's the main done. Now I just need to figure out how to get this thing apart. Okay, let's take a close look at this. Okay, so we are going to put this back into the movement holder and possibly reinsert No, I don't like that. That's putting pressure on that bottom pin. Okay. So we are going to do that. Is this a little brass ring that needs to be lifted here? This is a little bit of a risk. Okay, that can definitely go under there. Alright, we're gonna Google this real fast. Alright. I want to use these, but the issue here is that, like, there's really not anywhere for me to get purchase that's not gonna damage the middle wheel, I think. That's my fear, anyway. This middle bridge has got to come off first somehow. There's air between these two things, so it's definitely supposed to come off. No, I'm really worried about. Do not like how that thing is. Fuck, I think I bent it. God damn it. Okay. We're gonna try a case tool. There we go. That's what we needed. Alright, so now this thing can come off. Which means the second pin can come out. Which means the main wheel can come out. Oh my goodness, please tell me I didn't bend that. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let's put this over here with the train wheels. That is the tiny little pin that was going through the middle. That thing was a pain in the ass to move. Okay. Now we've got this thing to remove, and I think that we can do that with this press tool. We just need those other feet out of the way. Here we go. Turns out the answer was a case knife. All right. Now the question I have is, what is the difference between those wheels that I can differentiate? Double check these, make sure that they look different. Okay, so this is the screw for the, let's put it up on the thing where I can see it. So this is the screw for the motion keep bridge, and it is slanted. This is the one from the bridge. Yep, the second hand bridge is a tiny screw that is not slanted. And then we have the pallet fork bridge, which is slightly bigger than the top bridge. So we have the second hand bridge, which is the smallest screw here. Then we have this pallet fork bridge, which is also a square. So for myself, so I can remember, this is the pallet fork bridge screw. This is the second hand bridge screw. And then I think every other major bridge screw is the same size. But we will double check that real fast. So here are all the screws for the barrel bridge. And they look identical to the screws for all the other bridges. Yeah. So these are the screws here, actually. Yeah. And then let's look at the difference here. So this is actually here. second hand screw, train of wheels bridge screws, this is for the second hand screw here. Okay, so we are gonna, once I get everything all laid out, I'm gonna move the camera a bit so that I can record it, because this is gonna be really important. Okay, so this was the press fit wheel on top of the bridge. This was the wheel that was pressed onto. And you can see it is a 5-spoke wheel that I've got some Rodico stuck to. And the long pin side has got gears on it. Let's check that compared to this one, which is the intermediate screw wheel. So the center wheel, these two wheels were next to these. This was pressure fit, so the gears on the long side were the ones going through the train of wheel bridge. The one underneath connecting to the pallet fork, or the escape wheel rather. I'm trying to figure out how I can differentiate these two wheels here, because they are nearly identical. It's got a long one that goes through the bridge and pressure fits onto this one. Let's get these lights down here so we can really see these things. This is the one that's under the bridge, connected to the escape wheel. And the short side in this case has the gear. So for the one that goes through the bridge, it's the long side that has the gear. The one that goes under is the short one. And that pivot goes underneath into right there. Oof, these are some tiny, tiny pivots, guys. I really hope I didn't break any. We're going to double check them all right now. The one connecting to the pallet fork looks good. The one going through the bridge looks good. And now we're going to look at the escape wheel, which is insanely small. And those pivots look good. Okay, so this is underneath. This is underneath. This is on top of the bridge. This is going up through the bridge. This is my center wheel. Okay, so now we're gonna do this. We're gonna move this out a bit, and we're just gonna move this around so that we can see stuff. So we will start with the balance. So over here to the side, we have the cannon pinion. We have the balance and the balance screw. We need to focus this, hold on. Moving on from there, we have the two screws. The ratchet wheel screw appears to just have a shorter thread. So the ratchet wheel screw is the one with the shorter thread on it. There's no marker on the other side of it to indicate that. The click screw Just generally the only one that even looks anything remotely like that screw. It's very short, flat, the click spring. Moving on to the train of wheels. So this is the escape wheel, and the one that's next to the escape wheel, I believe the fourth wheel. The fourth wheel is the one that has the gears on the short side, the upper gear on the short side. These 3 screws here are the bridge screws, and they all appear to be identical to the other bridge screws. Let's get these bridge screws all stood up and validate that. Come on, fingers. Yeah, those look the same. Okay. Moving on from the bridge screws and the train of wheels, we also have the second hand up here. I still need to take off this, which is the pressure that goes onto the second pinion here. This is the bridge for that, and it has its own tiny screw. We're going to go ahead and do a quick comparison here. So the smaller so this is the pallet fork screw. You can see the pallet fork, pallet fork screw is a bit bigger. Pallet fork screw on the left. This is the, it looks like, let me double check. Okay, yeah, the balance wheel screw is the same as the other bridge screws. Just trying to compare these screws to other screws around the movement. The 2 screws from the keyless works are tapered screws. So this is the pallet fork screw. Moving my way down the stuff, we have the barrel bridge and the barrel. I have not yet taken the barrel apart. I'm going to put all the pieces away before I do that. And then we'll come back up to the top here. And I've got the crown, which is broken, the crown screw, or the setting lever and the setting lever screw here. We've got the 2 pieces of the keyless works, the clutch and the clutch wheel. Moving on to the plate cover here, and then the yoke spring, the intermediate wheel, and the yoke. And I think that makes up the entire watch. So with that, we are going to, I think, put everything in here for tonight. I'm going to put everything away. I don't want to wash this until I have my little baskets that will protect everything. Oh yes, I also have the hour wheel and the hour wheel shim here. Those were in here from a while back. Trying to decide how I want to pull this together. Let's put, I am going to put, okay, just a mental model here. We're going to go ahead and do this real fast. Zoom out all the way. And focus that up as best I can. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Focus. That is all of the parts kind of laid out in order, just so that after I put them in here I don't lose anything. So we're going to put all of the really delicate things, and so apparently you do not want to wash the pallet fork because the stripping stuff can be very damaging to it. So we'll put that there. Going to put the pallet fork bridge somewhere else. We'll put it here. So we're going to go, let's put all my screws in one panel here. can put all my wheels in another pouch. There's quite a bit of muck coming up from the case, so we're going to go ahead and clean all that muck out of here with some Rodico. Just a lot of gunk on the case that we need to clean out. All right, continuing on with some more screws here. Cannon pinion. We're gonna go wheels. Nope, I do need one balance because we're gonna be reattaching the balance to the movement plate because we don't want that thing to be riding free. There's wheel number 1, wheel number 2, wheel number 3, wheel number 4. Wait a minute, we're missing a wheel. What the heck? I don't like that one bit. Where on earth? A wheel just disappeared. Okay, we're gonna go through pinion here as well. We're gonna put bridges over here on the left in the get all those cleaned out later. Here it is. Okay, and with that, we're gonna keep the party going here. Ooh, look, it does have a shim. It does have a shim. Okay. Gonna go ahead and go keyless works all in one basket as well here. Ratchet wheel. Okay, these seem to be magnetized as well. Go ahead and demagnetize these. Yeah, we're gonna go keyless works all in one pouch here. Oh, more gunk in there. Again, sloped screws for the keyless works plate. Sloped screws on the keyless work plate, important. Here's the keyless works bridge. Click spring, or the click and the click spring. I believe I've already put the click spring screw in here. It's the rounded looking guy. This is going to be tough to find all the right screws again, guys. That's why we recorded this. Intermediate wheel, or the hour wheel, intermediate wheel, ratchet, barrel, stem, and that is that. I'm going to go ahead and put this up, put a lid on it so it doesn't go anywhere. And now we want to put the balance back onto the movement here. I'm going to go ahead and lift the light here. Let's zoom in again. Okay. Okay. Very, very gently here. loosely tighten that. Double check this again. Okay, looks like it's rotating just fine on the pivot, so we will tighten this down a little bit more, not super tight. Just enough to feel confident it's not going to come out in no cleaning machine. And with that, we have the movement. So, what do I want to do here? I'm just going to leave that over here for now. Although I could put it in with the rest of the bridges. It's a big piece now. But I don't want anything else in with here. Inside of the watch cleaning machine, I'm not going to have anything else in with the actual full movement. It's in here for now, but I would hate to have like this little plate gets jammed down in there and just fuck up the balance wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this back up here. And try this for the first time. This is going to be fun. Never taken apart one of these yet, so I think you just take the edges and push. Yep. That spring actually looks really good. Okay, so we're going to do this. Oh, the barrel arbor just came right out. Thing looks brand spanking new in there. How do you get this thing started? I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. See if I can't watch a video of someone starting this. I don't want this thing to go flying on me. Okay. Okay. So, looks like the Marshall way of doing this is just to grab it and place it up on top of your finger. Easier said than done with this tiny little spring. There we go. So this is an old school mainspring. Oh no. We just lost the barrel. Oh boy. Well, would have been too easy if this thing was all smooth, right? I heard it. I heard it. Alright, well, I need to move this chair because I really don't want to accidentally roll over and bend it. Found it. I just got so lucky. Whew. My vent to my room was right where that thing landed, and it almost went down the vent. So that would have been absolutely horrible. But here's our spring. Let's go ahead and get all this stuff put into the container so we don't lose anything. By the way, this is on, I put this block on some paper inside of my box because it was so covered with grease when I got it. But as it cleans up, I think we'll just leave it. Okay. So this mainspring will come in here. I'm going to go ahead and move this bridge over to this piece. I do need to remember actually to take that screw off. Let's just do that right now before we forget. Mainspring is going to go in with the pallet fork, which I don't think I'm going to be cleaning. And we'll put the bridge pieces in, or the barrel pieces in with the bridges, as they're pretty big and robust. Probably going to move all the tiny little bits over, but that is the whole watch, kids. All taken apart. That's the most disassembled I've ever had a watch, because I've never actually taken the barrel apart before, so that's kind of exciting. Let me go ahead and put my hoop back on real fast so that I can pull off this last screw and spring. That's going to be in this bridge here. Should be able to do this without having to get it out at all. Actually, you know what? I don't like working inside that box. Let's move this over here. And this is one more screw that I'm going to go ahead and get. Oh, where'd it go? All right, well, here's the spring. Ah, it's in it. Very nice. This screw appears to be a little longer, and interestingly, this screw has a little pivot on the end of it, so that should be pretty easy to differentiate. The screw for the spring has a pivot on it. So let's go ahead and get these all put away into their proper places. We'll go ahead and put the barrel in with the barrels. This arbor can go into here. The screw I'm going to put over with the rest of the screws. And this spring, we will put that in with the wheels. That's a very delicate spring. Okay. I think tomorrow we're going to clean out all the pivots with pegwood. And then, oh, nope. Definitely going to put this lid on before I just put that thing somewhere. I'd hate to knock this thing off my desk and have the parts cover not be on it. All right, well, that is the Bulova, I think, B or 10 BUC fully disassembled. Probably tomorrow, gonna pegwood the case, pegwood the crystal. The crystal's pretty beat up. Pegwood all the holes, and then I actually got the Clean hand cleaner. Found this online. It's just it's got a little hand crank and then a basket system similar to a big expensive thing. I'll let everyone know what I think of this. It is a little bit looser than I would like it to be. The little basket in there kind of wiggles around a bit, but I think that'll be okay. Oh, here we can probably get you a better view of this. Yeah. Let's do this instead. So the Clean, we've got this is the spin-off basket. I've got this the cleaning solution and the 2 rinse jars over here. The one thing that I will say is the baskets that came with this. I'm actually probably going to open this up and then leave for the evening. We'll go ahead and put this on here. Ooh, yeah, that's potent. So I've got my window open in this room. This is my spin-off jar that I'm going to let. You can see all the cleaner that spun off. And this thing is just so potent smelling. I don't really want to be in here for it. So we'll go ahead and... Oh, no, we don't want to dirty another jar. I'm going to put this back in the spin-off for now so we can close down the stream. And then I will take it out and let it dry like that once we're ready to go for the evening. So got the Clean, gonna try that out. Not a lot else to say. It's a pretty long stream today. I think almost 2 hours. Probably the fastest, pretty good disassembly time for a watch that I've never disassembled before. Most of the time I think was spent trying to figure out how to get that wheel off safely. This gives you an idea of how small that movement was. This is my movement holder, just pretty much at the smallest setting it would go to. But yeah, that was fun. Thanks for watching if you did, or if you watch in the future. I might cut this one down into a short just for funsies. Been enjoying doing a little editing that way. Yeah. Gonna go ahead and put everything away for now. Make sure I have everything sealed up and safe. I think something I might do actually real fast before we tear everything down here is grab this barrel out and see how big it is to see if we can get a new mainspring that is a little bit more modern. I'm assuming these things are measured by the internal diameter of the barrel. I'll also just look it up afterwards, but it'll be nice to know what the internal diameter is, so we'll just go ahead and measure that real fast with our calipers here. 9.15 millimeters. 9.15. Set a little louder so I can go back and watch this stream. All right. Well, I would call that success. Goodbye for now. Gonna go ahead and lock up, turn this off. Thanks for joining.